Hello, this is Rajason from WeAllPlayCast, and today we're doing a mod spotlight on some changes to Forestry in version 2.0.0.2. A couple of really exciting changes. Today we're going to be talking specifically about the Multifarm. I'll go ahead and launch up my test world and be back with you in just a moment. Okay, so let's get started. To get started, we need to craft ourselves what are known as farm blocks, and they come in a variety of different types. The nether brick, chiseled sandstone, smooth sandstone bricks, cracked stone bricks, mossy stone bricks, or just regular stone bricks. It's more of an aesthetic thing. They all perform the same function. It's just, what do you want them to look like? Okay, taking a look at the recipe here, and one thing that's important to note is in NEI, these are not listed as of yet. I am playing with the Direwolf pack from Feed the Beast. They are not listed here, so we'll take a look at the recipe. We need 2 copper ingots, the block of your choice in the center. In my case, I'm using stone bricks, but you can use any one that's listed up here. I'm using oak wood slabs, but they can be any type of wood slabs that are there, and 10 electron tubes, and that will create ourselves a farm block. And you're going to need a whole bunch of these, so I'm just going to make a whole bunch of them. Alright, so now that we have our farm blocks, what can we do with them? Alright, so the farm blocks, we can create our farms, and it's a multi-block structure, very similar to Railcraft tanks, and there's a few different varieties that we can go through to utilize these. The most simplest one, I would say, to probably start, is a 3x3x4 structure. And I always like to think of it as the blast furnace from Railcraft. However, in our case, we don't use any holes in the center. So 3x3x4, and this is going to be the smallest type of farm that you can create. And just finish this up real quick. And one more. Boop. Okay, and just give that a moment to update, which it should. Okay, it is updated, and although the graphical interface did not update, there will be a line here in just a few moments. But that sets up our farm. So the first thing I'm going to explain is what all these different things are. This is our water slot right here. This is the water tank, and this is the water input slot. This is the type of farm that we have. In this case, it all starts off, every single farm starts off with Managed Arboretum as the default. Down here is our fertilizer slot, which we get from Appetite. And this is our input slots, so our saplings, our bog earth, whatever we might need to put in here. This would be humus and saplings for the arboretums. And this is our output slot. Now, you can't interact with this block directly, so you need to make a few more items in order for you to pump items in, get water into the farm, that sort of thing. Okay, the first item that we will need to create for our farms is called the farm valve, and that is created by using a farm block right here in the center, 2 pieces of glass on either side of the bottom row, and a tin gear in the center, and that will make a farm valve. Now what the farm valve does is it actually allows you to pump water into the farm. So we can do that from a variety of different sources, especially in the mod packs. Alright, next item that we're going to need to make is a farm gearbox, which is what we need to do to power our farms. And that's created with a farm block in the center and 3 gears along the bottom. I think I'm going to make a couple of these just because it's something that more power is never a bad thing. Alright, and the last item that we can currently create is known as a farm hatch, and I do need to make some trapdoors here. Let's get a couple of those. Actually, I only need 1 stack of those. Alright, so trapdoor goes in the center here, farm block here, and on either side we use some gears for that. Now what the trapdoor does is it allows us to interface with the item slots. So farm gearbox is for power, farm hatch is for items, and farm valve is for water. Okay, so that's pretty much all the items that we need to create. Alright, now what you can do on any farm of any configuration, we'll go over those in just a moment, but it can be on any row except for the 3rd row. The 3rd row must remain intact. So let's say, for instance, we want to pump in water from the bottom. So I'll knock out this bottom block, and we'll grab our farm valve. We'll put that in there. And that will make sure that it completes the structure, so it will re-update. And if I take this out of my inventory, we should be able to click on it. And yes, sure enough, there is a farm valve there. And okay, let's go to powering this thing somehow. So I'm going to grab the farm gearbox, and we'll place just a couple of those down there. And once again, that should update in just a moment. There we go, and the farm is updated, and those are now our gearbox. They do run on Buildcraft power, so any type of Buildcraft power you want to provide to your farm, that's how the farm will work. Alright, next up is the interface, and I think I'm going to place mine right up top here, which is the farm hatch. And the farm hatch allows us to pump items in and out of the farm. Okay, so that is the basic structure and the basic interfaces that we can have. What I'm going to do is set up some engines and also some hydration for this farm, and we'll get into the rest of the configuration. I'll be back with you in just a moment. Okay, and I've gone ahead and put some engines on our gearboxes here and put a couple solar panels on there, which is probably not going to work, so I'll have to fix that. But an aqueous accumulator over the valve, which will give our farm water. As you can see, it is already filled up right over top of the valve. And I just went ahead and I built a little bit off camera to show you the different configurations that you can put the farm in. This is a 3x3x4, and that will cover a 4-block radius, as you can see, the Minecraft circle radius of 4. It's not too bad. And then this one is a 3x4x4. And it gives you like one extra row. This is a 4x4, which gives you a little bit more than that. This is a 5x3x4. And then the largest one that you can create, I have one sitting right over here, which is a 5x5x4. As you can see, that one is made out of chiseled sandstone. Okay, so you can make them out of a variety of different options, but the part that I have here is the farming area. And when you get this farm started, the dirt or humus or whatever it might be will go over top of these blocks. So as you can see, this one is on the top row, this one's on the third row, this one's on the second row, this one's on the first row, and you can do underneath also. So you can place the farm over top of the growing area, but you cannot make it one row higher than this. This is the highest that you can make it. Okay, so let me get some power going here. Maybe I'll just do this on camera. It's not very hard to do. I'll just run some fiber cables out here so we can get underneath the sun and throw some solar panels down. If I still have them in my inventory. There they are. Alright, and that should do the trick here. Alright, so that's going to give some power to our farm here, but now it's not going to do anything because it doesn't have anything to do. So now that I have the power there, it gives us a little tooltip. It says no fertilizer. So, okay, we'll get some fertilizer. So we'll give it some fertilizer, and there's a couple different ones. It's the blue one. It's the one that's made from the apatite is the one you need. So I'll go ahead and put that in our farm here. And that is the fertilizer slot. And as you can see, it went in there. Now, because this is a managed arboretum, arboretums need saplings and humus. So let's get a few stacks of that. Humus. Okay, and sapling of whatever choice. We'll do some saplings. Oh, I don't know. Let's do birches. Why not? Okay, so we go over to our farm, put in our humus, and we put in our saplings. And this thing should be good to go. So let's take a look at what's happening up top now. As you can see, it's placed in the humus very similarly to the other farms in forestry. And you might be asking, well, why do I want to use these managed farms? Well, that is one we're going to get into next. So, as you can see, I got it hydrated, I gave it fertilizer, and I gave it the stuff that it needs to go, and it's going. So I'll let that roll for just a minute. But we're going to talk about a few extra things here. Alright, so by default, every single farm is an arboretum, so it will naturally grow trees. But if you want it to do some other things, then you need to give it some other attributes. And the way that we do that is with circuit boards. Now we'll talk about the circuit board recipes. The first thing is you need a soldering iron, and the soldering iron is made in the carpenter like so. 3 iron ingots, bronze ingot. If I turn the carpenter on, that will finish up that for us, but I don't really want to do that. So we'll talk about the other circuit boards now. Every circuit board is done exactly the same way. First one is tin in the center. We'll make our small circuit board. Actually, let me get the names of these correct. Okay, we have our basic circuit board, our enhanced circuit board, refined circuit board, and intricate circuit board. The basic one is created like so, with tin ingot in the center. The next one up is, I believe, the bronze, and that one actually uses 3, and that will create the enhanced circuit board. And this is 1 slot, 2 slot, 3 slot, and 4 slot respectively. Next one up is iron. We'll create our advanced one. And then the final one is gold, which is pretty much the one that we want to use for what we're doing here. That's going to be our intricate circuit board. Okay, so let's talk about what we can do with the circuit board. So the first thing you do is you right-click with your soldering iron in your hand, and there's a couple of changes to the interface in Forestry 2. You have the electrical engine, which has been in there for a while, and you use the same types of tubes that you have very much in the past. But you have electrical engine, you also have what's called managed farms, and manual farms. The difference between the two is managed farms will place down the growing substance for you, and manual farms you have to place down the dirt, the humus, the different things. Alright, so there's a few options that you have in managed farms and a few more options that you have in manual farms. Okay, and I found my mistake there. I was on manual farms, not on managed farms. So on managed farms, we can put in our blazing electron tube, will give us our infernal farm, a tin electron tube, which I think I ran out of, so let me get some more of those actually. Seems to be a little glitchy at the moment, so we'll just grab some more tubes. Tin. There we go. And tin electron tubes on our intricate circuit board will give us our... Oop, no, that's the electrical engine. That does the same things. Managed farms under tin electron tube will give us our peat bog. And then bronze electron tube will give us our crop farm. Our iron electron, vegetable farm, and blazing electron will give us our infernal farm. And as you can see, that made, and there's a nice little tool tip on there now. It says intricate circuit board, peat bog, crops, vegetables, and infernal crops. Excellent. So now that we got all that stuff going on, whoa, hello. I think I lost some tubes in there. So now that we got all that going on, as you can see, this is going pretty well. And if I go into the farm itself, you see it's harvested some birch wood. It looks like it's ran out of saplings, and it's pretty smart as well. Okay, so let's go over to, we'll go over to this one here. Actually, no, we won't. We'll go over to this one right here. Okay, as you can see in this one, I've already put in some different types of crops, and as you have a little tooltip indicator, it says infernal farm, vegetable farm, managed peat bog. Now, you have to kind of give this all of its resources that it normally would. Okay, and as you can see, I got a circuit board in here that's showing infernal crops, peat bog, and vegetables. So it looks like we're going to need some dirt, some soul sand. I got some dirt here. Some dirt, some soul sand, and then we're going to need some crops to grow. Okay, and as you can see, we got this thing set up. I gave it a few things to grow. We got some bog earth, we got some humus, we got some soul sand, and actually I need a bit more dirt to finish out the farm, so let's go ahead and give it that. So we got ourselves some dirt. Let's put it in there, shall we? Alright, then we got seeds, netherworts, and potatoes growing, because as you can see we have a managed vegetable farm which grows carrots or potatoes, infernal farm which grows our netherwort, and peat bog which gives us our peat. And also a managed farm, which is our normal wheat farm. So as you can see, we got the netherwort farm going here, looking pretty good. Peat bog farm is going here, also very good. Takes a little bit to update, but the capabilities of this are just unreal. I mean, you could have one farm growing all these different types of things. And one thing to note is this is the managed farm, which means it will plant the soul sand for you. It will plant the dirt for you. It will plant and it will make all the water gaps, in the middle of the peat farm. So it will do all that for you. Now the manual farm, although it will not place the dirt for you, has a few more options that you will not have in the managed farm. And those options are, you can still make the peat bog, still make the crop farm, still make the vegetable farm. In addition to that, you can make a succulent farm, which is a cactus farm. That's made with a golden electron tube. A reed farm, sugar canes. A rubber plantation is the rubberized electron tube. Gourd farm, which is pumpkins and melons, made with an obsidian electron tube. And also a cocoa plantation made with lapis lazuli. But lapis farm, the cocoa plantation, you cannot make that tube as of this version, which I'm sure will be implemented very soon. So I take lapis and try to make a tube with it. It's telling me no. But all the rest of them are made in this exact formation in the thermionic fabricator. As you can see, this is the rubber farm. Rubberized electron tube. Okay, and we'll make a few of those farms too. I think I'll use, I don't know. Maybe we'll use this one over here. Tree farm looks like it's going pretty good. We'll use one of these over here to make some of the rubber tree manual farms. So I'll be right back with you once I have that set up. Okay, and we're getting ourselves set up here, and we got our succulent farm, reed farm, rubber plantation, and our gourd farm. And let's get our circuit board. Alright, looks good. Pick up all the errant tubes, and we'll go ahead and place those in our farm over here. Alright, let's put this circuit board in here. Oops, doesn't really work if I have that selected, does it? Alright, put our circuit board in here, and that should switch all these over. So gourd farm, succulent farm, rubberized plantation, and manual reed farm. Still got fertilizer. Now, I haven't done this before, so it's not going to plant all the stuff for me. Okay, so we got our sugar canes, we got our cactus, and we need some rubber tree saplings for the rubber portion of the farm. Let's get some of those rubber tree saplings. And we also need our pumpkin seeds, which I believe got those too. Okay, so let's take a look at it. We have manual succulent farm, which would be our cactus. So that's going to need sand to grow on, and that's going to be on the northernmost platform. So let's face north, and we'll place some sand down here. Okay. And as I mentioned before over here, it looks like the east and west get priority, so I think these are just going to be standard this way. So let's take a look at what we have on our south. We have a reed farm. Okay, so that reeds need to grow next to water, so we'll place, we'll just use sand, and then we'll use some water blocks. So let's take a look here. Let's get some water source blocks. Okay, and then the next farms that we have are rubber trees, which would grow on dirt, and that does get... It should be okay without any water. We'll see though. I'm not sure if it will hydrate it or not. We'll find out though. And we'll try this one with dirt also. Looks like it does farm them, so I will guess I'll have to plant all these myself. So let's just go ahead and do that. Make some cacti. Make a little cacti farm here. Plant a few myself. I don't know if it will replant them or not, but it looks like it will auto-harvest them, which is kind of nice. Yep, there it goes. It is harvesting them. That's excellent. Now let's grab our rubber trees. And rubber trees were on the west side, so if I'm facing north, it'll go on the west side. And melon seeds will go on this side. So melon seeds, let's get rid of these for now. So we'll plant our rubber seeds and plant our melon seeds. So we'll give it... I'll have to hydrate that a little bit. So let's plant our rubber tree saplings though. We'll place these in here. We'll just do it however, and then I'll bone meal them up. So let's get some bone meal. And let's find out what happens. Okay, looks like it's harvesting it just fine. Alright, excellent. Excellent. Place some water source blocks down here. Get these things hydrated. And then I just need to... I guess I need a hoe. Because I need to till this stuff. Not a how, a hoe. We'll do a sapphire hoe. Why not? Cool. And wait for them to grow. Let's give it a daytime here so our solar panels go. So now that I've manually made those, we'll give this just a moment to kind of catch up. Looks like we got some sticky resin out of there, which is outstanding. How about that for a rubber tree farm? That's incredible. So it looks like for a manual farm, you do have to plant the items yourself, but it will harvest them. And it looks like it doesn't take down the trees, doesn't replant them. But again, reeds, rubber trees, cactuses, melons or pumpkins, it will harvest them and they will all go in here. So perfect. Very excellent, excellent tools that we have here for the multi-farms in forestry. It looks like this one's going pretty well too. So that seems like a good wrapping up point. The other thing to note is that the hatch portions of the farms are Buildcraft and Red Power 2 compatible. And so you will be able to pipe things in and out, and it is very smart actually. So it knows what slots it needs and where to put things as they go. So excellent, excellent mod stuff that we can be doing with this, and there's so much automation that's possible now with this new mod. So if you enjoyed this mod spotlight, go ahead and hit that like button. Want to see more? Hit subscribe. Until next time, this is Rogerson from WeAllPlayCast. Bye.